This show has good music. Hey, it's okay. 괜찮아. 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 It's okay. Yeah. Hello, good people. Thanks for joining me again. My name is Anne, and if you're new to my channel, I review foreign international content. So if that's something you love or something you're getting into, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right space. I always say we travel around the world sitting on our couches. Just fantastic. We're learning cultures, food, languages, so much fun. So you don't have to feel like you're missing out, not traveling like before, because we can't, because of this pandemic. You can travel from your couch watching foreign international shows. And obviously Netflix has a lot of them, and actually I'm back because this one is on Netflix. Last time we were in France, and then last week we were in India, and today we are back in South Korea, one of our favorites. And to my Korean friends, annyeong, 감사합니다 for joining me today for this one. And this just finished on Netflix. It's called the Uncanny Counter. And OMG, what a show. It has so much packed in there, where one episode could really be a series by itself. There was so much in this show. We're talking action, we're talking about good versus evil. I felt like they really tapped into the spiritual world, the afterlife. I mean, the storyline was very interesting. Obviously, there were some pieces that were dark and a lot of action, violence. I'll be honest, there's a lot of fighting going on. So the story really is about these four characters, and the first person we meet is Jun-sang, and he is playing as Motak in the show, which, by the way, I saw him in Graceful Friends. I reviewed that show. He was really good in that show. He was this loving husband, doting husband. And then this one here, it's like he is kicking butt like you won't believe. But his story is told where he's a cop and gets hurt and ends up in a coma. And during that process, the would-be spiritual world come to him, and he ends up waking up out of his coma. But when he does, he doesn't remember anything. So he's here to stay on earth to look for evil spirits. They go around looking for people doing evil, because what we're being told is these people who are evil have had a spirit go in them and is making them cause these problems and killing people or doing just evil things. And his job is to go and catch that person and then wipe out the spirit from them, and hopefully this person can resume their normal life and that evil spirit can go away. I know it's a lot, but with that also comes special powers, which, by the way, I was watching this show with my husband. He says, this reminds me of Mr. Incredibles. You guys know, if you don't know who Mr. Incredibles is, I'll put the picture over here. It's an animated show for kids, and the whole family has powers, and they wear the red outfits. So that's why he was like, why does this remind me of Mr. Incredibles? But so that's the same case with, we also meet Jo Byeong-kyu. His name is Moon or Mun. I may not be saying that correctly. And his story is his parents die in a car crash, and the reason why he's given the special powers is pretty much to avenge what happened to his parents. Because as the story goes on, you find out that we thought it was just a simple car accident, but both his parents were also cops, and turns out that they were killed. And so that's really his force is to try and get justice for his parents. And then the other thing we found out is when they die, their spirits don't go up, they end up going to an evil person. And when he finds that out, he's just like, there's no way, I need to get my parents to ascend, if you will. I know, very spiritual, like woo, science fiction. And so that becomes his quest is to trying to get justice for his parents. And then the other character is Hana, who's being played by Se-jeong. She was really cool. And I loved her powers. Her powers was like, if she could like telepathy, like hear things and know when a evil spirit or a person with an evil spirit was around. So that would kind of clue the others to go to get this person. And when I forgot, Moon's character's powers was he was very strong, and he knew how to like activate the spiritual realm, if you will, to protect them. They all had such special powers. And then the last person who I love, and I've seen her in so many shows, is Yoon, I think is her name, and she's playing Maok. I mean, not saying the name correctly, but she is in so many Korean dramas. I mean, I could name so many. She was in Chocolate. I think I also saw her in, was it Hyena? She is just in so many shows, and excellent, excellent actress. But anyway, so the story is told, really the quest is for them to go and wipe out the evil spirits in the world. However, how they do it, they're not meant to hurt people, so they cannot use their powers for evil, which becomes very obvious when they're really, some of these situations they're going to solve are personal. Like he was trying to avenge his partner. He's trying to avenge his parents, you know, and as they're going about it, the humanistic sense kind of comes in, and when they do bad, they gotta go to the afterlife, and they're like, look, you've got 4 strikes on you. You get the 5th one, you're done being a counter. Like powers go away, you become a normal person. And it was such an interesting show. It had so much. 16 episodes felt like you could have done 8 seasons of this, because they're so packed in there with the storyline, the action. These actors, I don't know how long it took them. All those fighting scenes, whoa, those was just exhaustive. And so really a really excellent show. I felt like the person, and you can tell me once if you've watched it, let me know, or once you watch it, it felt like the person who wrote this script must have had someone maybe that they lost, because the way the story is told, it's almost like you're trying to make sense of, you've lost a loved one, and then since we don't know where they go, there's that afterlife, right? And then there's the heaven, depending on what you believe. And it's almost like he's giving us that feeling of like, so they pass away and then they go to the afterlife, and then once they've settled everything, then they're allowed into the gates of heaven, or you go to hell. And by the way, the way they showed the would-be hell, it looked like a water pool with people, and then when you get dropped in there, you just get attacked, and people just pretty much, the assumption is that they attack you and you just die. But it really felt like the person who wrote the script must have really sat and thought about what happens to when we die, and when we are sent to the afterlife, and then do we also get a chance to, like, you know, maybe say our goodbyes, fix whatever we didn't or whatever, and then you can ascend to heaven wherever they go. That's what really came through when I watched this series. I'm like, whoever wrote this script, wow, you must have been really like thinking about what happens after and after. And then the other thing too about good and evil on earth. Like, it made me think of, like, sometimes you've heard in the news about a story about someone goes and kills like 10 people, and you're just like, what happened to that person to make you do such evil things? In this show, they show this one guy who is pretty much possessed with bad spirits and has no empathy, no remorse, would care less, just scary looking, and then because he's evil, he's also very strong. And sometimes it made you think like, is this what happens when people snap? Like, are they just on their own or are they under the influence? I mean, he really made you think. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I think we can all just, think about it or just wonder. But it is a very thoughtful show. In the midst of all that's going on with the action, there's also friendships and there's moments of that is touching. I loved his relationship with his grandma, and then even his quest to free his parents. Oh, the last episode, I'm just gonna tell you, the last episode of this show, the last 2 episodes of this show, you're gonna need Kleenex. You're gonna need Kleenex because of all the closures happening. Oh, it was so touching. But I really thought it was an excellent show, very well done. For me, like I said, and you tell me if you thought the same thing, I really felt like the person who wrote the script wanted us to really maybe think about it or struggle with those things of the world between good and evil. And then when we die, what about the afterlife? And then after that, do they go to heaven or do they go to hell? I mean, OMG, there was so much stuff going on. And on top of all that, with everything that happens in life, you've got, kids in school, there's bullying going on. You got politicians who are crooked and corrupt, and some of them using the evil to bury things and kill people. I mean, all of it just all in there. And then you've got I want to call them the Incredibles, the counters who are trying to come and wipe out the evil in the world. I love one part where the 2 guys were talking, and he had lost his partner, and he said, you lost your parents, how did you get through that? Because I'm having a hard time, and you lost both your parents on the same day at the same time. And I loved what he said. He said, because I'm a counter, it almost feels like I'm closer to them in the heaven world, because I'm able to go to the afterlife and then can come back. And I was just like, oh, what if we had that choice? Would you want to? Would you want to go to the afterlife? Maybe talk to that person, maybe to clear things off, or maybe just to see your loved ones one last time. I don't know. But that's what this show made me. It just made me think about all those things. To me, it was very thought-provoking. And I love shows that just make your mind just go like, woo, what if, right? Just an excellent show. I recommend you watch it. It's 16 episodes. They just finished the last episode, I think this Sunday, so you can binge watch if you want. Although I have to say, this is one of those shows, I think you can probably watch 1 or 2 episodes or 3 episodes, take a break, let that marinate, and then proceed again, because you want to know how they get to, help their loved ones and wipe out as many evil spirits as possible. And I can see this series also being them bringing another season. But wow, it had it all. It had it all, and a really excellent series. The music in this show, by the way, is so good. I had to go to YouTube and find the music selection for this show. It's just one song after another, just beautiful songs. But once again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you get a chance to watch this one. Let me know down below what you think of it. Did it make your mind go in all different kinds of places with the spirit world, evil versus good, afterlife, heaven, hell, whatever else that happens? Yeah, definitely let me know what you think about it. Please go ahead and subscribe, turn that notification button on. It does help my channel, and I'll see you again. You never know where we're gonna stop in this beautiful world as we travel around the world, sitting from our couches and enjoying excellent foreign content. See you again next time. Please do join me. Take care. Deuces.